What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pound for Pound House. I wanted to come on here and just talk about two subjects. Well, I kind of felt like I wanted to get my thoughts on these two subjects. One is the guy that's on my screen, and the other is this guy. I think there's some buzz going around these guys in the past couple of days, especially after UFC 295, especially since 296 is on the horizon. And we're all awaiting that. So I just wanted to touch up on something he mentioned here when it comes to his previous fight. And it's no shade to Paddy. I think Paddy's a great fighter. He's just, I don't agree with certain things, but shoot, why don't we just watch?
In your mind, how do you see this fight going?
I see this fight going like I see every fight going. I see myself finishing them. You know what I mean? I don't come into any fight wanting to go to decision, especially after my last one. You know what I mean? I won and everyone's saying I lost, so I don't ever want to go to decision ever again.
Does that still annoy you?
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah. It still annoys me, but at the same time it doesn't, because the only people that matter are them three judges sitting cage side, and them.
So let's stop him right there. I don't necessarily agree with that, because it's not only about the judges. I get it, for the win, it is for him. But especially if he's trying to build a fan base, and if he's trying to, get some loyal followers, it's about the fans too. But let's continue.
Three judges said I won. You know what I mean? But as I say, if I wouldn't have exposed the content creator fight week last time, I wouldn't have had this many people calling it a robbery. It's just because that content creator come out and said it was a robbery, everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Right. I was the easy low-hanging fruit to jump on and hate, so everyone did it.
Okay, so I'm not hating on the guy, but I want to say it's not because he was a low-hanging fruit. We all watched that fight. I'm sure you guys all seen that fight. And that was as a robbery as it can get. I mean, I think for the most part, everybody agrees that Jared Gordon won that fight. And Paddy, listen, he could have been injured, whatever happened, honestly. Still, the fight, I personally feel that fight was all Jared Gordon. But, so I don't think he should say, just because one content creator said, that he lost the fight. I think everybody seen the fight and everybody came to the same conclusion. I think also, I remember the buzz around that fight the moment it finished and they announced the winner. I think there was like insane amount of tweets going out there saying, robbery. And he's like, I get it. There's a lot of fights out there that we can say, oh, robbery or whatever. I usually like to say they're competitive fights, and competitive fights aren't really robberies. But this one was not really competitive as much as people want to say. It was pretty clear who won this fight. And I only think that, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think he's still sitting on his high horse. And, he needs to realize that fight wasn't him. Maybe humble himself a little bit with that. I mean, he's going up against Tony Ferguson, so Tony Ferguson's, granted, he's been on like a 6-fight losing streak, but Tony Ferguson's no joke. And I think he mentions this in his interview here, that he doesn't want it to go to a decision. But yeah. But at the same time, I do agree with him on one thing though, and in his defense, he said that this fight is a lose-lose for him. And he said that if he beats him, people are going to say Tony was on a 6-fight losing streak. And, if he loses, they're going to say, hey, he got beat by a guy who's on a 6-fight losing streak. But I want to clear something up with that as well too, in his defense, and I think it's really important. If Paddy goes out and beats Tony Ferguson, I don't think anybody should be doubting him in any sort of way, or they should not be saying anything, because Tony Ferguson's the toughest of the toughest. So for anybody to say, you know, he doesn't get that credit, like, you know, it's insane. Just because Tony's on a 6-fight losing streak, he looked amazing in all his fights. Granted, yeah, he lost, but you know, he got Chandler in the first round. He got Bobby Green down. I mean, even in the Gaethje fight, when you go back to it, this man held on as long as he could. You know, the referee had to jump in and stop that. So Tony Ferguson's the man. Tony Ferguson is still the man, and you know, if he goes out and beats him, especially convincingly, I mean, there's no doubt, man. But I would really like to see him and Jared Gordon back in a rematch. Can you guys imagine the build up to that fight? Maybe even like in the O2 Arena. You know, that would be absolutely nuts. I mean, maybe Tom Aspinall on the main card. They were talking about this a little bit, but yeah, it would be sick. It would be absolutely sick. I mean, it would be nuts. It'd be great, because the press conference would be fun, even though him and Jared Gordon don't got beef. But I think that press conference would be huge. It'd be fun. It has a good storyline already to it, and yeah, I think it'd be a fun rematch. So, and I think they're both gonna, you know, really go in to make sure they secure a victory this time. So it's gonna be a banger, like straight banger. But yeah, that would be the exciting match. I think if they could make that happen again, that'd be the best bet. You know, we could probably put an end to all this talking at that point. So yeah, now moving into the Leon Edwards conversation. He had mentioned something about going up a weight class after the Dricus and Strickland fight. I don't know about that one. Listen, Leon's an amazing fighter, awesome guy. I don't know if it's like, you know, I think this whole thing, even with Islam, like everybody just moving up to the next weight class, they're all shooting for the, you know, the title for the weight class above them. I don't know how crazy I'm about that right away. You know what I mean? I think these guys gotta, like, either it's Islam or it's Leon. I think they all gotta put in some more time in their own division. And he kind of said one thing which was crazy, was he said that there's nobody left in his division. He has Shavkat, which, to be honest, I don't think he gets past him. He has Ian Gary, who's on the rise. And then let's not forget about Bilal Muhammad. I know. Everybody's going to be like, you know what? He fought him before. He was like basically kicking his ass, you know, that first fight till he got poked in the eye. And also, Bilal's probably not the most funnest fighter in the world to watch, but he still gets to win. All right. He still gets to win, and he's still on a winning streak. Better than pretty much everybody for the most part, better than everybody in the division. And he's beat all the top contenders. So let's not act like he doesn't deserve it, right? He deserves it. I think if after Leon and Kobe, whoever gets this title, which I will be talking about in a future video, when we get closer to 296, whatever happens in that matchup, I think Bilal's the next guy. And then let's just say Leon gets through Kobe and then gets through Bilal. He still got Shavkat. All right. But, you know, Shavkat also got a really difficult task in front of him. So let's see how that plays out as well. And also Ian Gary, who also has a difficult task. yeah, I mean, the welterweight division has a good amount of people for him to fight first before he goes up and starts fighting middleweights. And yeah, let's let the middleweight ride out for a little bit. We still got Hamza out there. You still got Whitaker in the mix. Adesanya's kind of alpha right now. And we still have Jared Cannonier, Vittori. All these people are still in the mix of this, middleweight, potentially to get a title fight. And yeah, so when it comes to Leon moving up, I don't know. I mean, I see Islam getting a chance to fight Leon if he wins before Leon gets a chance to go to fight Trickus or Strickland. That's just my opinion. Only because Islam obviously just beat the number one pound for pound, Volk, and he also beat Oliveira to get the title. Granted, he can also fight, a couple people in his weight class as well. He has some, people there that he's really got to take out first. But yeah, that's about it on that. Like I said, I'll dive more deeper in future videos when it comes to Leon versus Kobe. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video. Also, if you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can see all the new videos I upload.